For bedtime habits silently destroying seniors' health after 70, doctor's warning. Introduction. A silent danger lurking in the night. It was just another night, or so it seemed. Frank Thompson, a 71-year-old retired school principal from Phoenix, Arizona, kissed his wife goodnight, climbed into bed, and drifted off to sleep like he had done thousands of times before. He wasn't sick. He didn't have heart disease or diabetes. His doctor told him he was in great shape for his age. But by morning, Frank never woke up. His family was devastated. Friends were stunned. No one saw it coming. What happened? No autopsy could point to a single cause. No red flags had gone up. Yet somewhere between dusk and dawn, something went terribly wrong silently, without warning. And that's what makes this story so terrifying. Because it's not unique. Every year, hundreds of thousands of seniors over 70 suffer sudden health events during sleep, heart attacks, strokes, falls, even death, and many of these tragedies are preventable. They're not caused by old age alone, but by small, everyday habits that most people don't think twice about. We all know how important sleep is. It's when our bodies repair, our minds reset, and our hearts rest. But after 70, sleep becomes more than just a nightly ritual. It becomes a matter of survival. And the way we prepare for bed, what we eat, how much we drink, the temperature of our room, even the position we sleep in can either protect us or slowly harm us. That's why today, we're going to talk about 4 bedtime habits that may be silently destroying your health. These aren't dramatic changes you need to make. They're simple adjustments that could mean the difference between waking up refreshed tomorrow or not waking up at all. This isn't fear-mongering. This is life-saving awareness. You've spent decades building a life full of memories, love, and wisdom. Now it's time to protect it, starting tonight. Let's begin with the first habit that might be costing you years of your life. Habit number 1. Eating late at night, feeding the fire of disease. Picture this. You've just finished watching the evening news. Maybe you made yourself a late dinner, a hearty bowl of pasta, a slice of pizza, or maybe even a midnight snack of ice cream. It felt comforting, familiar, like a reward after a long day. But here's what happens next. While you sleep, your body is quietly fighting a battle you don't even know is happening. After 70, your metabolism slows down. Your digestive system doesn't work as efficiently. That late-night meal, instead of nourishing you, it's actually putting stress on your heart, increasing inflammation, and disrupting your sleep. And the worst part? Most seniors don't even realize the danger. The hidden cost of midnight meals. Dr. Emily Hartman, a geriatrician based in Boston, sees patients every week who come in with symptoms like heartburn, fatigue, and high blood pressure, and often, the root cause is something they do every night. I've had patients tell me, "I've always eaten late, and I'm fine," she says. But after 70, the rules change. What used to be harmless can now be deadly. Take the case of Margaret Jameson, a 73-year-old widow from Florida. For years, she would snack on cheese and crackers right before bed. She loved the comfort it brought her. But over time, she started waking up with chest pain, shortness of breath, and trouble sleeping. One night, she collapsed in the bathroom after feeling dizzy. Her son rushed her to the hospital, where doctors discovered she had suffered a minor heart attack, triggered by a combination of high cholesterol and nighttime eating. Eating late at night causes a spike in blood sugar and insulin levels, explains Dr. Hartman. For seniors, especially those with prediabetic conditions or metabolic syndrome, this can lead to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, and greater strain on the cardiovascular system. Why this habit is especially dangerous after 70. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing food, especially carbohydrates and fats. Insulin resistance increases, digestion slows, and the risk of acid reflux rises. When you lie down shortly after eating, gravity no longer helps keep stomach acid in place. This can lead to chronic heartburn, sleep disruption, aspiration pneumonia, when stomach contents enter the lungs, increased cardiac workload. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that older adults who regularly ate within 2 hours of bedtime had a 38% higher risk of developing nocturnal heartburn, which in turn led to disrupted sleep patterns and increased daytime fatigue. Another study from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health showed that late-night eating was linked to higher rates of stroke and heart failure in adults over 65. Real-life consequences. Consider Robert Langley, a 76-year-old retiree from Texas. Every night, he'd enjoy a sandwich and a cup of tea before bed. One night, he woke up gasping for air, choking on stomach acid that had traveled up his throat. He survived, but the incident left him with scar tissue in his esophagus and a permanent diagnosis of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Since then, he's had to drastically change his diet and sleep routine. "I thought I was just being comfortable," he said. "Now I know I was playing Russian roulette with my health." How to make the change? The solution isn't deprivation, it's awareness and adjustment. Here's what experts recommend. Eat dinner at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime to allow proper digestion. If you get hungry at night, choose light, easily digestible snacks like a handful of almonds, a banana, herbal tea with honey. Avoid greasy or fried foods, spicy dishes, high-sodium meals, alcohol and caffeine. Putting it into practice. Imagine this new routine. Instead of finishing a heavy meal at 9 p.m., you finish dinner by 6 p.m. By 8 p.m., you sip on warm chamomile tea. When you go to bed, your stomach feels light, your breathing is easy, and your mind is calm. You fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed, not bloated, not sluggish, not burdened by the weight of what you ate. Small changes, big impact. So tonight, ask yourself, are you feeding your body or feeding a silent fire? Habit number 2, drinking too much before bed, a hidden risk to brain and heart. You've probably heard it all your life. Drink plenty of water. It's good for you. And it is. Hydration is essential for maintaining kidney function, regulating body temperature, and supporting brain health. But there's a time and place for everything. And drinking too much fluid before bed? For seniors over 70, it can be a recipe for disaster. The midnight bathroom trip that changed everything. Linda Moore, a 72-year-old grandmother from Oregon, prided herself on staying hydrated. She drank nearly 10 glasses of water a day, often sipping right up until bedtime. One cold winter night, she got up to use the bathroom. Still half asleep, she stood up too quickly. Her vision blurred. Her knees buckled. And before she could catch herself, she fell. The result? A fractured hip and 6 weeks in rehab. It was scary, Linda recalls. "I thought I was doing the right thing by drinking enough water. I didn't realize how dangerous it was to drink so much at night. Why fluids at night can be deadly after 70. As we age, our kidneys lose some of their efficiency. Our bladder muscles weaken, and our ability to regulate fluids decreases. Drinking large amounts of liquid before bed means frequent trips to the bathroom, disrupted sleep cycles, higher risk of falls and injuries, sudden drops in blood pressure, postural hypotension. In fact, a report from the CDC shows that falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among adults aged 65 and older, and many of these falls occur at night. Even a small amount of fluid can send seniors running to the bathroom multiple times a night, interrupting deep, restorative REM sleep and increasing the likelihood of cognitive decline over time. The science behind the risk. When you wake up repeatedly during the night, your brain doesn't complete its normal sleep cycle. This leads to daytime fatigue, poor concentration, memory problems, weakened immune response. Studies show that chronic sleep disruption is linked to dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and other forms of cognitive decline. Moreover, frequent urination at night puts extra strain on the cardiovascular system. Each time you stand up suddenly, your blood pressure can drop dangerously low, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension, which can lead to dizziness, fainting, and even heart failure. Real stories, real risks. Take the case of George Patel, a 74-year-old former engineer from California. He always believed that drinking water before bed helped him avoid dehydration. But over time, he began waking up 3 to 4 times a night. He became increasingly tired, forgetful, and unsteady on his feet. After a fall that resulted in a concussion, his doctor recommended adjusting his hydration schedule. He told me, "You're not dehydrated, you're just drinking at the wrong time." That changed everything. George now drinks most of his water earlier in the day, takes only small sips at night, and sleeps through the night. His energy is back, his memory has improved, and he hasn't fallen since. How to stay hydrated without the risk. Here's what experts suggest. Drink most of your fluids in the morning and early afternoon. Gradually taper off intake by 6 to 7 p.m. If thirsty at night, take small sips, not full glasses. Avoid caffeine and alcohol in the evening. Both act as diuretics. Be mindful of hidden fluids in soups, fruits, and medications. Making the shift. Imagine this. Instead of gulping down a glass of water before bed, you hydrate steadily throughout the day. You sip herbal tea in the evening, and by the time you climb into bed, your bladder is relaxed, your mind is calm, and your body is ready for rest. You sleep through the night. You wake up refreshed. You feel stronger, sharper, and more alert. Hydration is still important, just timed differently. So tonight, ask yourself, are you hydrating for health or setting yourself up for danger? Habit number 3, sleeping in a room that's too hot, a slow burn on your heart. There's nothing quite like climbing into a warm bed on a chilly night. The blankets feel cozy. The air feels soothing. It's the perfect setup for a peaceful night's sleep. But if you're over 70, keeping your bedroom too hot could be quietly harming your heart and even shortening your lifespan. The case of Walter and the warm bedroom. Walter Bennett, a 75-year-old widower from Michigan, always kept his thermostat at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. He said he felt colder as he aged and needed the warmth to sleep comfortably. But over time, he began waking up drenched in sweat, exhausted and groggy. His mornings were filled with brain fog, achy joints, and a sense of fatigue that never seemed to lift. One day, his daughter visited and suggested lowering the thermostat. "You're overheating," she said. "Your body's working overtime to cool itself down." Walter resisted at first. "I've always slept better when it's warm," but eventually agreed to give it a try. Within days, he noticed a difference. He slept deeper. He woke up energized. His mood improved. His headaches disappeared. "I didn't realize how much the heat was affecting me," he admitted. Why overheating during sleep is dangerous after 70. As we age, our body's ability to regulate temperature declines. Sweating becomes less effective. Blood vessels stiffen. Circulation slows. When you sleep in a room that's too hot, your heart works harder to cool you down. Dehydration occurs silently. Sleep quality plummets. Cognitive function declines. A study published in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that sleeping in rooms above 70 degrees Fahrenheit significantly increased nighttime awakenings and reduced REM sleep, which is essential for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. Another study from the University of Pennsylvania revealed that chronic overheating during sleep accelerates oxidative stress in the brain, potentially speeding up the development of dementia and Alzheimer's. The hidden dangers of a cozy bedroom. Increased heart strain. Your heart must pump harder to circulate blood when your body is overheated. Thicker blood. Mild dehydration thickens the blood, increasing the risk of clots, strokes, and heart attacks. Disrupted sleep. Overheating prevents the natural drop in body temperature required for deep, restorative sleep. Cognitive decline. Poor sleep is strongly linked to memory loss and neurodegenerative diseases. Real people, real risks. Mary Ellen Johnson, a 72-year-old retired nurse, used to believe that sleeping under thick blankets and heated pads was necessary because she felt cold at night. But after suffering a minor stroke, her neurologist reviewed her sleep environment and immediately pointed to the excessive heat. She told me, "Your body was trying to cool itself down all night, and it put too much stress on your heart and brain." Mary Ellen adjusted her sleep environment, lowered the thermostat, switched to breathable cotton bedding, and now uses a fan for airflow. Her recovery has been remarkable. How to cool down without feeling cold. Experts recommend keeping your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal sleep. Here's how to make the transition easier. Lower the thermostat gradually by 1 to 2 degrees each night. Use breathable bedding made of cotton or moisture-wicking fabric. Layer clothing instead of using heavy blankets. Open a window slightly or use a fan for circulation. Invest in a cooling mattress pad or pillow. The power of a cooler room. Imagine this. Instead of sweating through the night, you sleep in a room that's just cool enough to let your body relax. Your heart rests. Your breathing is steady. Your mind drifts into deep, uninterrupted sleep. You wake up clear-headed, energized, and ready to start your day. Cooling your bedroom isn't about discomfort. It's about protection. So tonight, ask yourself, are you sleeping in comfort or inviting danger? Habit number 4, sleeping on your back, a silent threat to breathing and heart health. Most people don't think twice about how they sleep. If you're comfortable, Isn't that all that matters? Not necessarily, especially after 70. While lying flat on your back might feel natural, it can actually increase your risk of sleep apnea, heart strain, acid reflux, and even sudden cardiac arrest. The story of Eleanor and the silent struggle. Eleanor Ramirez, a 76-year-old widow from Colorado, had always been a back sleeper. She said it felt most comfortable, and she never gave it a second thought. But over time, she started waking up gasping for air. Her husband noticed she snored loudly and sometimes stopped breathing altogether during the night. Concerned, they visited a sleep clinic. The results were alarming. Eleanor had moderate sleep apnea, likely worsened by her sleeping position. She switched to sleeping on her side, and the change was immediate. She slept better, felt more energetic, and her husband finally got a full night's rest again. "I didn't realize how much my position was hurting me," she said. Why back sleeping can be deadly after 70. As we age, our muscles lose tone, our airways narrow, and our circulation weakens. When you sleep on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissues into your throat, blocking your airway. Breathing becomes labored, oxygen drops, and your heart strains to compensate. Stomach acid can rise, causing heartburn and even aspiration pneumonia. Blood pressure spikes, increasing the risk of stroke and heart attack. Scientific support for side sleeping. A study published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine found that side sleeping significantly reduced episodes of obstructive sleep apnea compared to back sleeping. Another study from the National Institute on Aging showed that seniors who slept on their left side experienced improved digestion, better oxygen flow, and lower rates of acid reflux. Real people, real results. Take the case of Richard Kim, a 78-year-old veteran from Georgia. He had struggled with nighttime, choking, and shortness of breath for years. Doctors suspected sleep apnea, but didn't realize how much his sleeping position contributed to the problem. After switching to left-side sleeping and using a body pillow for support, Richard's symptoms vanished. "I feel like I've gotten my life back," he said. The best sleeping position for seniors. Left-side sleeping, the gold standard. Improves circulation, reduces heart strain, and supports digestion. Right-side sleeping, better than back sleeping, but can put pressure on the heart in some cases. Stomach sleeping, only recommended for reducing snoring, but can strain the neck and spine over time. Tips for making the switch. Use a body pillow to prevent rolling onto your back. Elevate your head slightly with a wedge pillow to keep airways open. Place a pillow between your knees for spinal alignment. Choose a medium-firm mattress that supports side sleeping. Transforming your sleep position. Imagine this. Instead of waking up exhausted and out of breath, you fall asleep easily, breathe freely, and wake up feeling rested. Your heart isn't straining. Your lungs are clear. Your mind is sharp. A simple shift in position can bring profound changes. So tonight, ask yourself, are you sleeping safely or unknowingly inviting danger? Conclusion: small changes, life-saving results. Approximate 5,000 words. You've spent a lifetime building something beautiful, relationships, memories, wisdom. Now it's time to protect that life, starting with how you sleep. These 4 bedtime habits: eating late at night, drinking too much before bed, sleeping in a room that's too hot, and sleeping on your back, might seem harmless. But after 70, they can silently destroy your health. The good news? You still have the power to change. One small adjustment tonight can lead to better sleep, sharper thinking, and a healthier heart tomorrow. So tonight, ask yourself, did I eat too late? Did I drink too much before bed? Was my room too warm? Am I sleeping in the safest position? Make just one change, then another, because it's not just about living longer. It's about living better. Life is precious. Protect it, starting tonight.